Imagine a massive military airship, an L-8 blimp, crashing right into a city street. Rescue crews rush to the scene, cutting through the wreckage, expecting the worst. But when they finally get inside, they find nothing. No pilots, no bodies, just an eerie, empty cabin. This isn't a movie script. This is the true, baffling story of the Ghost Blimp of 1942. What happened to the two men on board? The answer is a mystery that has puzzled investigators for over 80 years. It's August 16th, 1942. The world is at war. Off the coast of California, the threat of Japanese submarines is very real. At 6:03 a.m. from Treasure Island and San Francisco Bay, a U.S. Navy LA airship lifts off into the foggy morning sky. On board are two experienced officers, Lieutenant Ernest DeWitt Cody and Ensign Charles Adams. Their mission is simple: a routine anti-submarine patrol, scanning the waters for enemy vessels. They're armed with a Mark 17 depth charge, ready for action. The blimp is in perfect condition, freshly inspected, with enough fuel for a long flight. This should have been just another day on patrol. Just over an hour into their flight, at 7:42 a.m., Lieutenant Cody radios back to base. His voice is calm, routine. He reports spotting what looks like an oil slick on the water, a potential sign of a submerged submarine. He informs command that they are going down to investigate. This is the last time anyone will ever hear from Cody or Adams. After that transmission, complete radio silence. This wasn't just unusual, it was alarming. Two veteran pilots in a perfectly functioning airship suddenly vanishing from communication. Back at Naval Air Station Moffett Field, the minutes tick by with growing unease. The L-8 was supposed to check in regularly. By 9 a.m., the lack of contact has turned from concerning to critical. The Navy scrambles search planes, hoping to spot the blimp, but the thick coastal fog blankets the entire area, making it nearly impossible to see anything. Meanwhile, out on the water, civilian ships are starting to see something strange. The crew of a fishing boat and the sailors on a transport ship both report seeing the L-8 behaving erratically. It's not flying, it's drifting. It drops a flare, then seems to climb sharply, disappearing back into the low-hanging clouds. The reports are confusing. Why would it be drifting? Where were the pilots? Then, the situation takes an even more bizarre turn. At around 11:15 a.m., beachgoers near Ocean Beach are stunned to see the massive silver airship emerging from the fog, slowly descending towards the shore. It's deflated, sagging, but still airborne, scrapes the sand. Its two engines still sputtering, propellers churning just inches from the ground. Two swimmers even try to grab its dangling mooring lines, hoping to secure it, but the blimp is just out of reach. It lifts again, like a tired ghost, and drifts inland, right over the city of Daly City. Imagine looking out your window that morning and seeing a giant, crippled airship floating silently down your street. That's exactly what happened. The L-8, losing the last of its lift, slowly descended onto Bellevue Avenue. Its massive body draped over houses, power lines, and even a car, finally coming to a stop in the middle of the road. The whole neighborhood came to a standstill. Police and fire crews were on the scene in minutes, along with a swarm of naval personnel. Their first priority was the crew. They had to get Cody and Adams out. The scene was one of controlled chaos. The blimp's gondola, the cabin where the pilot should have been, had slammed into the street with enough force to pop its door open. Rescuers, fearing the worst, cautiously approached. They peered inside. What they saw was utterly perplexing. The cabin was pristine, almost untouched. A briefcase containing classified documents was secure in its place. The parachutes were still neatly packed in their racks. The life raft was still stowed. Even more strangely, the ignition was on. The radio was in perfect working order, and there was still plenty of fuel in the tanks. Everything was exactly as it should be, except for the two men who were supposed to be flying it. They were gone, vanished. The investigation began immediately and deepened the mystery. Every inch of the gondola was examined. There was no sign of a struggle, no blood, no torn clothing, nothing to suggest foul play or a fight. The door was securely latched from the inside, meaning it couldn't have been accidentally blown open mid-flight. The safety bar, which was designed to be in place during flight, was found removed, lying on the floor. This was a critical clue. Why would they have removed the safety bar? Did one of them need to lean out for a better look at that oil slick? Let's reconstruct the most plausible theory, minute by minute. At 7:42 a.m., Cody radios about the oil slick. They descend to get a closer look. Maybe, just maybe, to get an even clearer view. One of the men, let's say Ensign Adams, unlatches the door and removes the safety bar to lean out. Okay, it's risky, but they need to be certain if it's a submarine. Perhaps, in that moment, a sudden gust of wind or an unexpected lurch of the airship sends him tumbling out into the cold Pacific Ocean below. What would Lieutenant Cody have done? Seeing his partner fall, his immediate, instinctive reaction would be to save him. He would have known that the airship, now lighter by the weight of one man, would start to rise uncontrollably. To stop the ascent and try to get back down to Adams, Cody would have had two choices: vent the helium, which is a slow process, or ditch the depth charges to try and circle back. But perhaps, in a moment of sheer panic and desperation, he made a fateful decision. He decided not to drop back into his pilot seat, but to try and climb out, perhaps down a mooring line, to get closer to the water. Or maybe he simply leaned too far out himself, trying to spot Adams in the waves, and he too fell. It's a chain reaction of tragedy, all happening in a matter of seconds. This theory explains the removed safety bar and the rising blimp. Once both men were gone, the L-8, now significantly lighter without its two-man crew, would have shot upwards like a cork, clinging thousands of feet into the air until it reached its pressure height. At that altitude, the internal gas pressure would have caused an automatic valve to open, releasing helium to prevent the envelope from bursting. This would explain why it was partially deflated when it was found. With less lift, the Ghost airship would have just drifted on the wind, a silent, empty vessel, carried along until it finally came down over Daly City. But this is just a theory. There are holes. Would two experienced officers make such a rookie mistake? Why wasn't a distress call sent? The radio was working perfectly. If one man fell, wouldn't the other immediately radio for help before doing anything else? And what about that oil slick? Subsequent searches of the area found no trace of an oil slick and no evidence of any Japanese submarine activity in that sector on that day. Was the oil slick just a mirage? A trick of the light on the water? A phantom that led to men to their doom? The Navy conducted one of the largest sea searches in West Coast history. For days, ships and planes scoured hundreds of square miles of the Pacific. Looking for any sign of Cody or Adams, they found nothing. No bodies, no life vests, no debris. It was as if the ocean had simply swallowed them whole. Officially, the Navy declared both men dead, their fates unknown. The case was closed, but the mystery was just beginning. Over the years, other, more sensational theories have popped up. Were they captured by a Japanese submarine that surfaced beneath them? Unlikely, as no sub would risk revealing its position for two prisoners. Were they abducted by a UFO? It was 1942, the middle of a war, and this theory, while popular in some circles, has zero evidence. It's the simplest explanation, that of a tragic accident, remains the most likely. But without any bodies or direct evidence, we can never be 100% sure. The story of the Ghost Blimp of L8 is a chilling reminder of how quickly things can go wrong, even on a routine mission. It's a tale of two men who took off one foggy morning and flew straight into an enduring American mystery. The blimp itself was repaired and put back into service, nicknamed the Ghost Ship by its new crews. It served faithfully until the end of the war, but it always carried with it the unanswered question: what really happened that day, high above the Pacific? The final moments of Lieutenant Cody and Ensign Adams remain locked in silence, lost to the fog and the waves. Their story is a true ghost story from the annals of war, a mystery that continues to haunt us to this day. Thanks for watching.